It's human nature, I suppose, to look for a scapegoat in times of crisis. Jews always seem to be the scapegoat, and in the Black Death they were as well.
In medieval Europe, the Jews are a distinctive and vulnerable group. In times of religious hysteria, they are often portrayed as the Antichrist.
There is a whole history of blood libels against the Jews, a whole history of persecution of the Jews by Christians during the Middle Ages.
Betrayed by his distinctive clothing, which marks him as a Jew, Agamett is taken to town officials for questioning. He is not alone, according to French monk and eyewitness Jean de Venette.
The infection and the sudden death which it brought were blamed on the Jews, who were said to have poisoned wells and rivers and corrupted the air.
War ein Beutel, den dir der Rabbiner gegeben. Was war denn eigentlich im Beutel drin?
Ich habe keine
Lügner.
Von keinem bekommen.
Lügner.
Von keinem.
Du hast Flüsse vergiftet, nicht wahr?
Ich schwöre.
Lügner. Lügner.
After hours of torture, Agamett breaks down. He falsely confesses that a rabbi did give him a pouch filled with venom, which he used to poison wells.
They were forced to confess that no Jews are innocent. All Jews are guilty. They're all part of this conspiracy. No one can be cleared of these charges.
De Venette reports that confessions like Agamett's fly up and down the Rhine.
Accordingly, the whole world brutally rose against them. Communities, many thousands were indiscriminately butchered, slaughtered, and burnt alive by the Christians.
What's poisoning us is the Jew's presence itself. That the Jew's presence is a moral failing. It's our sin to tolerate them, and this is what's bringing this punishment.
As Pope Clement VI pointed out at the time, Jews were dying in equal number to Christians, so it was fantastical to argue that Jews were poisoning people during the Black Death.
The Pope's pleas fall on deaf ears. On St. Valentine's Day, 1349, the citizens of Strasbourg round up as many as 2,000 Jews and burn them in the Jewish cemetery. The atrocity is repeated in more than 15 cities in Germany and Switzerland. The people of Europe have been poisoned, not by some insidious Jewish plot, but by fear, hate, and ignorance. In Avignon, nearly all of the nobles have fled the city. Even the Pope retreats to his country estate, no longer trusting the open fires prescribed for his protection. But one member of his court does remain, the renowned physician Guy de Chauliac. But the aging surgeon's final investigation of the disease comes perilously close to home.
Guy de Chauliac continued to make the rounds during the plague in Avignon, to the point where he himself came down with the illness.
And even on his deathbed, he doesn't quite know what it is that we've got. But he's willing to help people. He's willing to try.
De Chauliac's courageous commitment to his patient brought him to the brink of death. No one knows better than he how slim his chances of recovery are. As the heroic doctor struggles for his life in France, the flagellant movement in Germany starts to fall apart. Originally made up of pious zealots, the flagellants now attract misfits and outlaws. They hoard loot stolen from them. Their former discipline and oaths of abstinence are ill-observed.
One sense from some of these stories that in some of these villages, the flagellants were almost treated like rock stars. And